Hi everybody. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Sorry. I'm here. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. And yay! I hope you guys are all doing good. Sorry I'm late. Sorry. The time got away with me. Hi Susan. Hi Jamie. Hi Amberly. All right, let me find out where I'm getting extra feedback somewhere. Sorry. Hi everybody. Sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys are all having a good week. Is everybody having a good week? I had to make myself a cup of tea. I'm not echoing now. I figured it out. I had a screen open. So I'm sorry. Am I still echoing, Ash? I don't think so. I think I did it all. Hi, Carrie. So, how has your week been, everyone? I hope everybody's week has been good. My week has been good so far. It's been a little hectic, but it's been good so far. And I had to make myself some afternoon tea, some afternoon pickup, and tried to clean off my desk a tiny bit, but I was kind of anyway, I can breathe now. Oh, awesome. So tell me, is everybody having a good week? Tell me about your week. Ash says she's having a good week. Hi, Jan. Hi, Chris. Oh, I don't know, Chris. I don't thanks for saying you're excited. I hope it doesn't let you down. I hope it doesn't disappoint you. So for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, tell everybody where you're from, or everybody can share where they're from. What's so cool, what's happened lately, which has been really fun, is people are meeting on this live stream and finding out that they live in the very same or very close to each other. And hi, Jamie, Amberly, Carrie. So shout out where you're from. You never know where you're gonna meet your crafty best friend. Oh, I'm so happy, Jan. I'm glad you joined us. Yeah, and for those of you that are just joining us, or this is your first time, if you go to right next to where it says Crafting Mamas, and there's like a little bell, if you click that, it'll let you know when I go live. I usually do it every Tuesday and Friday at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I live in Hawaii, so 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's 3 p.m. here in Hawaii. That's where I live. So Chris is from Ohio, and Jan is from Alabama, and Bet's from Houston. Hi, Bet. Hi, Valerie. Valerie is on the island of Oahu, and if those of you who've never been to the Hawaiian Islands, Oahu is like our New York City of the Hawaiian Islands. People come to visit me and I say, well, Oahu's like the big city, right? And where I live, the island I live on, is like a town. And then if you go to Kauai, that's like really in the country. I'm so happy to see all of you. Hi, Pam. So if you guys have a question for me or want to talk to me, put it in all caps, and that way I'll try not to miss it. I've, come to realize I miss a lot in all these live streams. I'm missing all the chat. You're making dinner? Ooh, good for you. I know it's so hot here today. Is it hot where you are, Valerie? Is it hot on Oahu? It's really hot today. Hot and muggy. And so, no cooking for me tonight. You're typing good, Jan. Good for you. You had a margarita. You live near Pittsburgh? Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yes, Kauai is my favorite island. It's where you were raised, Valerie. I love it too. It's just so beautiful. Very peaceful. Very, very, very beautiful. Very peaceful. It's beautiful where I live too, and I'm sure it's beautiful where you live too, Valerie. Each one is a little bit unique. It was 100 degrees in Colorado, Jamie. Oh no. It's not nearly that hot here. I mean, I don't know. It's probably in the 80s, but we're a little spoiled, used to that 78 degrees and good. So, you guys make along. You can make anything. You don't have to make what I'm making. And we've been working on this Shabby Chic journal for a while. This is like our 4th installment. And yes, it's something you could do in one sitting. It's not necessarily something that takes this long. But for many people, it's the first journal they've ever made. So, you know, when I was first making junk journals, I would watch all these amazing flip-throughs. But nobody ever like really walked you through it or did it in real time or talked to you about their process. So that's what I'm doing. And it may not come out great. Somebody told me it looked like a tutu, right? Because I put a lot of lace in this one. But that's okay, you know. And I may go back and dye the lace. I haven't decided yet. I'm still not sure. So you guys can make anything along. Just because this is what I'm making doesn't mean this is what you have to make. Jamie, you know what? I used to live on the East Coast, so I actually like hot. I don't know if I like 100 degrees hot, but I actually enjoy hot more than I do the cold. So for those of you that are first joining us, we are making a couple of different versions. The one we've been working on for the past few times is made from an envelope, a manila envelope. And so this was covered with a paper napkin on one side and covered with sheet music on the other inside. I painted it first. I did paint it with some really cheap white craft paint because it was that bright yellow. And then we did paper napkin decoupage on the front, and I did book page or sheet music on the inside. And so far we have 2 signatures, and they're about, I think they're about 12 pages each. And we've tea dyed them, or I've tea dyed them and glued some lace to them. And they do have a few of them do have some pockets or tuck spots. So today I'm going to work on making some more pockets and some more tuck spots. But what I really wanted to show you and give you the idea, and you don't have to put lace on yours. This one's just a Shabby Chic style, and lace tends to go with that. Is that you really don't need much to make a junk journal. You can really, this is just copy paper, you know, the kind that's in your copier. And some of it I've stamped on, and, you know, it does have a few little things, but I thought I would just try to make it make it come to life a little bit more, and maybe we would work on some embellishments. So, you know, I haven't sewn it into my spine yet. I haven't done that. That I think we'll do next week. Just because if you want to move your pages around, I like working flat on my pages. This is just how I like to work. I also like to work with the option of taking pages in and out. I've made too many journals that I've put all the pages in and sewed it all into the book, and I start working in it and gluing embellishments in it or stamping in it. Maybe I make a really horrible mistake. You know, I stamp and it doesn't come out well, or I have too many pages, so then I have to take it all apart. So I found now this is just my process. This does not have to be your process. If you find something that works better for you, by all means do it. You know, I am not the expert in journaling or junk journaling. I am just making my own stuff. So get your stuff, get some glue, and hang on a second. I'm going to turn my phone off. I didn't realize it left it on. I'll be right back because it'll just continue to ring. My phone will just continue to ring, and I apologize for that. I didn't realize I left it on. So this is just really fun. Now I glued the lace in. You can glue or sew it, okay? Hi, Tina. You can glue or sew your lace in. I just glued mine because the average person, I find, doesn't necessarily have a sewing machine. Do you guys ever find Do you ever find that you want to make along with somebody and then they do something that is something you don't have and your mind just can't even wrap your head around doing it a different way? I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody. Hi, Michelle. Hello, ladies. So this is just a process that works for me. Yes, I love to sew things in. I like the strings that hang off when you sew. I like all that. Now, keep in mind you can make a junk journal this way with anything. You don't have to go through using tea-dyed or coffee-dyed paper. You can use your junk mail. If you guys go back and watch a series, I did one called Paint Your Junk Mail and made a journal out of that too. So today I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some, I think I'm going to make some envelopes for this and maybe make some library pockets out of just plain paper. Usually I make them out of book pages, but I thought I might as well go ahead and make some out of plain paper. And then I'm going to look for some images to make some embellishments out of. Please feel free, just because this is what's on my crafty table, craft and make whatever you want. You know, I like to watch people and work on my own thing. So these are the books that I've brought to my table to work with. So I'm going to see if I can find maybe a butterfly or two to make some embellishments with. This was a book that I got for, I think, $1. And there may not be any, but maybe the small ones, I'm going to look for maybe a couple small butterflies to add to my journal. And then I also have I have a book on the Renaissance that I've used for many things, but I think I got this one for $10. So I wanted to see if there was any images in here that I might want to use for this Shabby Chic junk journal for an embellishment, and there may not be. And then I also brought a gardening book, so I brought that. Hi, Charlie. How are you? So Chris is saying May does that, and then she stops, and she is. Then she shows you another way if you don't have the equipment. You know, I think the most intimidating thing for me when I first began making junk journals, and please all of you pipe in and say it, was that I would see these amazing junk journals made by everyone, and I didn't have any of the supplies. I mean, maybe I had the junk mail envelope, but I didn't have anything else. Oh, she's saying hi to my Charlie. Yes, Charlie is my dog. I thought there was somebody else, Charlie. Yes, Charlie is my dog, and she barks. Okay, the wind blows and she barks, you guys. She's a rescue, and she's a sweet dog, but she barks at everything. And I also have this flower and plant book that it says $2, but I think I paid $10 for it at a yard sale. And it's got some really cool images in it, and I thought maybe I could make some paperclip embellishments out of it too. So that's the books that I'm working in. Hi, Diane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Renee. So, you know, just keep in mind, like, if you have gardening magazines, how many of you guys get seed magazines? Like I can't think of the companies off the top of my head right now, but I used to get those every year. The seed and flowering magazines, you can use that too. Okay, just because I'm using a book doesn't mean you can't use a magazine. Yes, our Charlie is, today our Charlie she's been in rare form. She has been so funny. She's a joy, but she barks at everything lately, and after a while it gets to be a little bit too much for me. So how many of you guys are making serendipity paper? How many of you have gone off the serendipity paper edge? You have this in hardcover? Awesome. You know, it's a you know me, I'm always on the lookout for things, and I went to an estate sale I don't know, maybe about a year ago, and I bought all these gardening books, and they were like a dime a book, and some of them maybe I won't even ever use, but I have cut up some for my junk journals. So, you know, and I know there are people out there that like to harvest their images. You know what, you guys? I kind of leave all the books. I leave, especially if they're picture books, I kind of leave them in there and harvest them as I need them. You know, I know some of you go through and harvest all your magazines. I do the same thing sometimes. It depends upon but now mostly I just go through and I put like a post-it on the outside of the magazine and write some stuff like things I think I might want if I haven't already cut them all out. So that is what's going on with me. Have you guys had a good week? Hi, Scotty. Yes, cheap white acrylic paint is what I used. You can use gesso, but you know, let's face it. You can go and spend 50 cents on a bottle of this. I know all of you have big box stores. You can go spend 50 cents on a bottle of Apple Barrel, any color, off-white, white paint. Bottle of gesso is about $8, $10, $12. So, you know, I mean, it just depends upon how committed you are to this process. If you want to be more committed than I mean, you know, you guys know that I'm frugal. I don't like to say the word cheap, but I'm frugal. How many of you are frugal? How many of you like to craft on a dime like me? I like to craft on a dime. If I can get it for free, if I can recycle it, I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to spend money on what's important, like really nice paint or really nice inks, and definitely I like good glue. And you guys know I'm addicted to jelly printing. So anyway, I'm going to start with what I have. I may want a few more. I probably want a couple of butterflies and stuff like that too. But I just wanted to show you because a lot of times people will say like, what book is it? Or I'll get a message. I'm showing you now. Michelle says she's cheap too. Okay, good. You know what? You can start with nothing. Okay, but who's saying they can start and they can't finish? Okay, so this is the key to finishing, you guys. Make yourself a box of stuff, and if you do it in small increments, you can finish. Sometimes for me, I just don't get inspired. Like I'm inspired and I get it good going, and then my life gets in the way. So, you know. So I'm just going to take it one signature at a time. And I may move my pages around, you guys. I may not, just because they're like this right now doesn't mean I'm going to like it, you know? And it doesn't mean that I'm married to it. So for me, that's just how I roll. Oh, you know, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is flyleafs. Do you guys know what the flyleaf is in a book? It's the front couple of pages in a book. It's right next to, I don't know if I have a book in front of me that has a flyleaf in it. Let's see if one of these that I had has a flyleaf. Okay, this is the flyleaf. These pages right here, but in a hardback book, they'll often be blank, or they'll be, let me see if I can find one. I've been cleaning up my space, and I moved all my stuff. Okay, so here's that butterfly book, okay? So here's the flyleaf. And then it goes into the next page, right? Oftentimes when you're gutting a book, or especially old books, the flyleaf is a better, thicker quality because it's glued from the front cover page. It's the partner to the front cover, to the page that goes on the inside. I do tear these out, and I save them. They make excellent, excellent pages for your junk journals, but they're also like a thicker paper and usually better quality than the insides. So, hey Sherry. So if you wanted to start saving those pages when you got your books, I keep them aside, and you know, I use them for all kinds of things. I can make pockets with them. I also use them for pages in my junk journal. They make, hi Nelisha. They also make great things, like if you wanted to stamp on them, like say I decided I wanted to do some stamping and then use it for the inside, I would put it here too. So anyway, that's my, I saved them on my desk to remind me to talk to you about them. So you save them so you don't, you know. So I did go and coffee dye a bunch of paper. Most of the paper in the journal is tea dyed, but I went and I coffee dyed a bunch of paper because I felt like I needed some contrast. You guys know me, I'm a loud, usually my journals are loud and proud, like so loud. So I went and I coffee dyed some, these are some wedding invitation envelopes that, you know how like wedding invitations come inside another and inside of another, inside of another. So I saved some. So I did coffee dye these, and I did them a couple of runs. Like I did, you know, I sprayed one side and then dried them in the oven. I dry mine in the oven on a cookie sheet. Sometimes on the rack of the, if I want the lines on the rack. And then I turn them over and do them the same way. So I did these in a couple of stages because like they weren't dark enough for me. I went back and did them again, and I used whatever coffee I was drinking in the morning. So I just, you know, poured an extra cup, let it cool. And I stick mine inside of a old cleanser bottle, you know, like a spray bottle for anything. Like I had some stain remover that we had used all of. So I rinsed the bottle out really well, and I put my cold coffee in. I put my coffee in the bottle, and I keep mine in the fridge, you guys, so that it doesn't get moldy and weird. I keep it in the fridge, those spray bottles. So if you come to my house and you open the fridge, you'll see a bottle of stain remover. And it says coffee on it. And then I have tea in another bottle. So I sprayed these. So I think I'm going to make some pockets out of these. So that's what I was going to show you. I was going to make a couple of library style pockets out of my coffee dyed paper. I like the sound of it. Are you guys addicted to the sound of that paper? Hi, Ada. You made serendipity paper? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Make sure you join our Facebook group and post it. We love it. So that's what I did, girls. I love this one. I may not use that one in this journal because it's so much darker, but I love how it came out. These were on the bottom of my pan. You know, on the very bottom of my cookie sheet. And I laid a whole bunch of other paper on top of it. So that's my coffee dyeing, tea dyeing extravaganza. My tip. Everybody has their own way that works for them. That's what works for me. Okay? So I'm going to make a couple of envelopes. I'm going to make a library pocket for the inside of this journal. And I'm just going to make it out of your tea-dyed paper, just so if you guys want to make along, you can. Usually I make it out of book pages, but you can do it out of anything. Oh, we want to see your paper, Ada. We would love to see your serendipity paper. I saw some of you guys post that you weren't happy with it. You guys, it's not supposed to be an end product, although you can use it as an end product. It's supposed to be a, thing that you use bits and pieces of that you cut up for your embellishments or for your collages, or, So you have some like amazing scrapbooking paper left over and you're just like, I want to use that in something, So just want to decide which one of these pieces I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to make some pockets to go in here, and I'm going to make them to be used on the page. So this is kind of a fun way if you guys want to make them, if you want to learn how to make them to the size of your page. You can make it any size. You could also make them much larger. So I'm going to cut it like a little bit more than half of the page, and not perfect, because you know me, I'm not exacting. Okay, who's eating brownies? You guys are ridiculous. We're already eating brownies. Okay, for those of you that want to make your library pockets, get your piece of paper, your rectangle. It's a little bit fat, but your rectangle, and you're going to fold in both sides a little bit. And you can fold them in. you just need that extra little lip. That's what's going to give you the gusset in your pocket. So you're going to fold it on both sides, just in on both sides, okay? And then you're going to decide how much you want to fold it up. And this one's just going to be kind of a small one, so I'm going to fold it probably a third up. So this is what it looks like so far. You folded it in and you folded it up. Okay, now let me decide. I guess it's going to be the same. So you want to make sure that you crease this well so that you can see, because you're going to use those as your score lines to cut. What are you guys writing? Anne says she used her pink coffee vanilla paper in her thistle journal. Oh, good for you. Are you a recycler too, Chris? I have to recycle. I don't know. It's just, you guys, I think once you start realizing that you don't have to spend a lot of money on your craft supplies, it frees you up to spend money on what you really want and not what you think you have to have. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're going to leave the two longer pieces folded to the back. You're going to refold the little small pieces. See how it is right now? Right now you had folded it both sides. You're going to fold those two pieces to the back, and you're going to take the two pieces that are scored and fold those to the front. Then you're just going to fold it up. And that's your pocket. That's your and I'm just going to glue those little gussety pieces on the front. I'm going to fold it up. And then I'm going to notch my pieces in the back so that they stay. I need more glue. So this is it. Paper, library pocket 101. Scotty really wants art supplies. You don't have, you know what, Jamie, you don't have to make a journal, but you were the one that was telling me that you make a lot of soap, right? Well, it's cool if you wanted to like make some handmade embellishments for your soap or some paper stuff to work on for your soap. Trust me, paper crafting is, I think, just as addictive as soap making. Have any of you guys made soap? I've made soap. I like it. It's addictive too. Alright, so I'm going to make a few little library pockets. And then I think I'm going to stamp on some. And then I'm going to, maybe I'll put a couple of embellishments. Do you guys like my burnisher? It's the bottom of my glue stick. Wait, okay, who's an addict? What did you say? I'm missing the whole thing. So Scotty says she has more than enough and she's an addict. You're a crafting addict? No, we could be, there's worse things, girls. There's worse things than being a crafting addict. Okay, here's one pocket. Now I may put some lace on it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let me decide what page it's going to go on. I think it's going to go on a plain page. I think it needs some lace and some stamping. It needs some stamping and it needs some lace. Oh my gosh, you guys. You're making tags for your soaps? Well, Jamie, I'm the queen of recycled tags. I make them out of cereal boxes and I paint them. I don't think I have any in front of me, but if you go back and watch some of those videos, you'll see them. They're super easy to make. You know what's really cool is when you start collecting papers and stuff to create your art with, you start finding, for me, I'm just going to, my experience is I start to find, I fall in love with certain types of paper. Are any of you like that? Where you fall in love with certain types of paper? And in falling in love with certain types of paper, you just covet that more. Like there's a couple of brands of paper that I love. Like I love Crate Paper brand paper. Does anybody else like that brand? I love the texture of it, and I love the patterns of it too, quite honestly. And next time I'll try to bring one of the 6x6 pads close by so you guys can see it. Now, if you guys wanted to make a bunch of these little pockets and share them as Happy Mail, that's fun too, because you can fit a whole lot of them into an envelope, into a 49-cent envelope. So, and I'm just pouring some tacky glue down on my You don't have a lot of stamps, you just have a few, some alphabet letters. Oh, you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to show you something. Give me a second, Carrie. Let me get my glue to come out. And I saved, do you ever eat out anywhere? Do any of you guys have styrofoam containers and eat out anywhere? If you do, save them. Especially the ones that, I mean, if you get them and they have meat in them, I usually bleach them. You know, put a little bleach water solution and let them sit. But hang on, Carrie. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I need a book page. I think I am going to spray this with, you guys know me and my crazy sprays, these crazy Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays that I like. I think I'm going to spray them with that. Let me just find a color that I like. I'm going to show you, if you, hi, Laurel. I thought when are you going on vacation, Laurel? Aren't you going on vacation soon? That's not dark enough. When are you going on vacation? Aren't you going on vacation soon? You guys, I'm not going on vacation this year. My vacation is here. I went on vacation. I guess you can consider my vacation was when I went to Bogota. That was my vacay. Did you guys see that Ash shared a really cool video on jelly printing with spray inks? Anyway, if you guys have any sort of spray, maybe I'll spray pink. Do you guys have any styrofoam sprays? Styrofoam containers? Thinking of spraying because I got the spray going on here. Heat gun alert, you guys. Yes, you could use mica paper, Jamie. A lot of people make their own sprays. They make it with Kool-Aid and then they add mica. Or you could use mica to give your paper a color. Absolutely. Mica and alcohol make great alcohol inks. I hate to waste the color, so I'm spraying it on a book page so that I can use it later. You guys know me, I gotta be extra thrifty just for like a second. But I thought maybe I would color my lace to be pink to be put on this the page. And then I'm gonna go get, because I saved one. Hopefully Mr. Wonderful didn't throw it out. You know, sometimes in this crafty house stuff gets thrown away because they don't really know the extent of the craftiness. I washed it out and it was in the sink, but in the drying in the dish drain, but I don't know if I'm going to go look in just a second. And if I did, I'm going to show you, Carrie. If you have those meat trays, those vegetable and meat trays, you can even ask for them at the grocery store. Sometimes I ask, especially when I was doing crafting with in the school with kids, I would ask for, I'm just putting some glue down on with a paintbrush, you guys, because I've already laid the pocket closed. I've already closed the library pocket. I just don't want it to glue itself down, so I've got my hands inside of it and using a tiny fine brush to put some glue on. But sometimes I ask when I go into the store, I'll go over to the meat department or the vegetable department, and I ask them for those little styrofoam trays. So this is just going to be one little tiny pocket. Yes, those micas work great for sprays. People use them with alcohol. You can use them with water too. Some people use them with Kool-Aid. You know, if you wanted to give your pigment, make your pigment extra dark. Obviously the Kool-Aid without sugar, you know, the dry Kool-Aid packets. You could use it with acrylic paint. You could use it with ink. If you have Sharpie markers that you think are totally gone by, you cut them open, put them in some regular alcohol in a container, like rubbing alcohol in a container. As somebody so kindly reminded us, cut the plastic part. When you open the tips, when you open the inside of your Sharpie markers. Okay, one library pocket with some lace. So post your pictures on Facebook if you guys feel like it. So I'm going to make a couple more pockets. You guys get if you don't have any coffee dyed paper, you can use book pages. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be, if I haven't reminded you enough, it doesn't have to be what I have. It can be exactly the way you want it. It don't have to be my way. It can be any way. But I do want my journal to have some pockets, and I do want it to have that cool little vintagey shabby chic feel. So just trying to decide which side I want to use. Maybe I'll just glue that one on top. Alright, anyway. Talking to myself. You know, you can make library pockets out of anything. You can make them, they make great ones out of manila folders. If you have a corner rounder, take it up to the top and round your corners if you feel like it. Not necessary, but you can. You have styrofoam coming out of your ears, and you hate to get cold medicine and styrofoam oh my gosh. Styrofoam makes first of all, I'm sorry that you have styrofoam coming out of your ears, Renee. I totally know. I mean, I wish it was different for you. But they make amazing stamps. You can carve into it. You can... I used to, when I would teach art to kids, little kids, we used to collect those and make like a monoplate, kind of like jelly printing. And you could actually use those for those of you that want to do a form of jelly printing without a jelly plate, or you want to do dendritic printing without a piece of glass. You can use styrofoam as well. I mean, you know, we used to use them all the time, and I used to make all kinds of cool, you can carve right into them. I mean, but you can use them plain like you would a jelly plate, you know, with nothing on it, and you use it as the bottom part. I also use them as paint palettes. Honestly, I don't get them here as much, but sometimes, I don't know what we had the other day, one of my kids had something to eat and brought it home in a like rice or something, brought it home in a styrofoam to go container. This one is not even. I did not cut it even. Anyway, I'm just giving you guys the 411 that you can use anything. Sometimes we think that we have to go buy all this stuff, and we really don't. We really don't have to go buy much. I do think that good glue is mandatory in my world. That can be anything from I like Elmer's Extreme Oohoo for a glue stick, but you can't really get it here. I told you guys I bought these online and they were cheap. The only problem with the glue stick thing is then you know you have the plastic container to contend with, but I'm certainly sure one of you guys, I sometimes use the tops for marking tools for, you know, printing or painting or that sort of thing. So no, you can totally share it, Jamie. We appreciate it. Everybody, if you're on the site where everybody wants to know like where they can get things inexpensively, it's awesome. You can put the name of the group on there if you want to, Jamie. I don't know if you did already. I haven't mastered chatting and crafting yet totally, so I miss a lot of what you guys say. Did anybody go over and watch Carla today? Caged Fish. Oh my gosh, she made the cutest accordion book today, you guys. It was awesome. If you guys didn't go over and watch her on Ustream, she's on Ustream at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you didn't watch her on Ustream, you can go back and watch her on YouTube. And she made a really cute accordion. I think I'm gonna make the birthday card for Noni's grandmother the way she made her little book. It was like a window accordion book. It was so cute. Did you guys watch? Watch her at all? She's really cool. You know, there is a YouTube artist, and I'll link her in our Facebook group. She's a book artist, and she is amazing. And she shows you really amazing ways to make your supplies. I met her once when I lived in New York City, and I was teaching at a conference, and I met her. And she did a whole series, and then I recently, maybe in the past year or so, saw that she's on YouTube, and I'm trying to think of what her YouTube name is, but I will post it in our group. She shows you, she's been an artist her whole life, and she's an amazing artist, but she's a huge proponent because we both used to teach inner city kids. You know, we used to teach in schools where they had no budgets. You know, it could be anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but she's a big advocate for creating your own supplies from nothing. And there's tons of really great, helpful YouTube artists that will show you, but I would tell you that she is by far one of the most talented that I know. And she's been doing it a long time, like 30 years. So, or maybe longer. And I will post her. If you guys join the Facebook group, I'll try to remember to post her tonight if I go in and find it. She's great. And I don't know, I can't remember what her videos are on YouTube, but she also has written a couple of books and that sort of thing. So when I post it, you'll be able to Google her and find her stuff. Diane, I have to craft on a dime, okay? Because, you know, honestly, I do have really expensive taste when it comes to really nice things. But when you live on an island, you suddenly become more and more aware of the accumulation of things and of the you become more aware of it. Maybe even more aware than if you weren't living on, than if I wasn't living on an island. But you start to want to, you still want to be creative. You still want to be creative, but you don't want to spend all your money on stuff that, you know, they're going to come out with a new product every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. And, you know, we all want to go and have the newest, latest, and greatest, but, you know, I'd rather save my money for things that I really want. You know, really, really want. Like, I don't think Diana's here today, but Diana, you know, from D, or my friend D, she is the thriftiest person I know, and she and I are constantly talking about different things that if you were going to spend money on it, what would it be, right? And she's been coveting this graphic 45 paper. I can't. I think it's called like Nature's Source or something like that. She's been coveting this graphic 45 thing, but they want like the paper pack is like $50. You're lurking. Yay, D! So D, what is the paper that you want? It's that graphic 45 paper. It's that graphic 45 paper that you want. So, you know, we've been talking about it forever. But quite honestly, it's like, you know, if you were going to spend that much money on paper, you better save your money on the other end some other way. Nature's Sketchbook. You guys go look at it. It's gorgeous. We both like it a lot. We've had many conversations about this paper pad. Oh, we've had so many conversations. So if you guys wanted to send each other some cool Happy Mail, you can fit a whole bunch of these little library pockets in a 49-cent envelope. I can't tell you how many, but I have in the past mailed quite a lot in a 49-cent envelope. You just have to make sure put it in between a card or some cardstock, you know, so that it can be metered, so that they don't charge you extra for what do they call it? Hand delivery, or what are they, hand processing? What is it called, Diana? Yeah, save money on things you can so you can have it. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, teach yourself the things that you really want to learn if you can do it. Like if you can teach yourself how to make yourself the kind of cool color dyed paper that you want out of whatever process you find works good for you, do it. If you want to have a really cool sketch pad but really don't want to spend the money on it, teach yourself how to make it. Do it. You know, really do it. I love things handmade because your energy's into it, right? And then it becomes like so much more special than something that you just bought that was made in China, right? Scotty says no, if she goes and looks, she'll buy it. Okay, Scotty, don't go look. It's expensive. I mean, it's probably the most expensive paper pad I've seen. How much is it, Diana? It's something ridiculous. But it's a gorgeous paper pack. It's a gorgeous paper pack. It is so cool. I like it. Okay, so I've got two little library pockets with little pink lace on it. Or my, whatever this is. This is a Lindy's Stamp Gang spray called Plat Pabio, Pabio. Or maybe it's flat. Can you guys see the lettering? They've done like this crazy, maybe it's Flat Fabio. I don't know. But it makes a nice pale pink on this synthetic lace. Alright, so I probably need, I want to make a couple of envelopes, and then I'm going to cut out some. Carrie's saying she has roses her 95-year-old neighbor gave her. Oh my gosh, you want to dry them, but you don't want them to turn all brown. You know what? I'm drying flowers. I used to dry them in my apartment in New York City because it was very easy, because it was the way there was no humidity in it and it dried it with color. But I can't tell you how to do it. Diana might. She's the queen of drying things. She's the queen of botanicals. Hi, Isabella. Hi, Isabella. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. So Ash is telling me the name of my color is Flat Fabio, but look at it. It looks like it's saying, the F looks like a P. It looks like Platfabio. Flat Fabio. Hi, Renee. GT Designs and Vintage Art Supplies. We have 2 Renees. Hi, Isabella. You know what? Today I was trying to be on Carla's stream. How many of you guys were on Carla's stream today? It was awesome. But can I tell you, I couldn't, for a while, I could chat, but not watch. Like I could hear her talking, but I couldn't see the picture. And then I could see and hear her, but I couldn't chat. So I don't know if it's the internet. So for those of you who've never made my little silly envelopes, you cut your paper in a square. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to fold it up to be an embellishment inside this journal, okay? I'm going to make some more library pockets, though. I think it definitely is going to need some of that. So just want to decide what I want. Maybe I want it this way. Hang on, I just want to see if what I want no, I want it this way, darker. You want to keep the whole flower? Carrie, I cannot give you the 411 on that. That is Diana's domain. She is the queen of drawing flowers. She was a flower designer for a long time. A floral designer. I don't know. Some people actually paint their... Okay, so if you want to make an envelope, you fold the 2 sides in. Okay? Try... mine are not meeting each other, but you kind of eyeball it, and then you fold the bottom up. And then I fold the the pointy thing down. I fold it down. Try and eyeball it so it's... And then I fold it in. Okay, and then I'm going to fold the top down. The only thing I want to decide is... This is a long skinny envelope, and then you're going to fold the top down, and then I'll trim it. But I'm wondering if I want to sew it in my journal. If you want to sew it in, then you don't want to glue it together until after you've sewn it in. Okay, because you want to sew it in here, or you could sew it in here. But I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what I'm thinking. Let me see what I'm thinking. So, if I sew it in here... You would want to sew it into the center of your junk journal. It'll hide your, yeah, so maybe I won't glue it in. Maybe I'll just leave it like that so I could use it to sew it in. So I'll sew it in, and then I'll hide my seam inside there. So that's one. Definitely need some more pages. Let's see. I need some more envelopes, some more embellishments. And where's my... Now, if you guys have any cardboard, did anybody bring any cardboard with them? You know me and my packaging, I always have something. You know, the lid part of your, or the, what do you want to call it? Packaging box, pasta box, cereal box. I think I'm going to use it to make paperclip embellishments. But I'm also thinking I may cut out some of these. Who couldn't chat? I'm sorry, you know, it's hard. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Also, too, if you watch from a different device, sometimes if you watch from like your iPad, you can't chat. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. You tell me. You tell me. So if you guys get those catalogs, the catalogs for your floral, you know, the floral company catalogs, the seed catalogs, or the, oh my gosh, there used to be one I ordered from all the time on the mainland, but I can't remember what it is now. I send them out a couple of times a year. Save those, and you can cut out the pictures for your embellishments. So, So tell me what's all on your crafty table, ladies. I want to hear who's making what these days. Who be making what? We know Jamie's making soap. What else are you guys making? I saw some of you guys are crocheting, which is gorgeous. Some of the crocheting work that you ladies are doing is amazing. I love that. So tell me what's on your crafty tables. I want to hear. I'm just fussy cutting, or what did you guys? One of you guys told me it was cranky cutting. One of your friends calls it cranky cutting. I'm just fussy cutting around some of the green because it's just a little too deep for the color palette of this journal. So what are you guys? Tell me what else is on your crafty table. I want to hear. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know what is on your crafty table. So Ash is making butterfly clip embellishments. Awesome. Are you making them with serendipity paper, or are you just making them with regular paper? So I like free craft supplies. If you can get them free, and I'm not saying free from other people, I'm saying like stuff that would be like thrown away. Like magazines, inexpensive books that were going to end up in a landfill. You know, that sort of stuff. I love that. Or like Bet, who's the expert person to take apart clothing. She makes them. Have you guys seen the lace and stuff she dyed? Oh my gosh, gorgeous. I think, were they wedding bodices, Bet? Is that what they were? You're making more envelopes? Good for you, Tina. Yeah, make some tags to go on them. And you know what's really cool is if you save some grocery bags, they make really great tags. Have I made grocery bag tags with you guys? I love to make grocery bag tags. And so I'm definitely into that. I like to make grocery bag tags. I like to make. Did you guys see? I posted it in our group. I'm gonna do it eventually with you guys. I'll make that paper bag portfolio thing that I made. I don't know exactly what you want to call it. Remember I told you guys I was in a swap eons ago with somebody, and I posted pictures. It's too bad that I didn't take better pictures. And back then I was not doing any YouTube videos. So I didn't videotape anything. It was probably in my opinion, one of the best things that I've ever made. I enjoyed it so much. Simply from the standpoint of how much I enjoyed it and making it out of nothing. So, supplies for your Christmas journal. Good for you. That's awesome. You guys create your own stash, you know, like doing what I'm doing. Like, what if you sat one day and just, if you coffee or tea dyed and if you wanted a coffee dye, you can make these out of book pages. I make them out of everything. I make them out of magazine pages, book pages, anything. But what if you sat one day and you made yourself just a whole bunch of little pockets, little library style pockets to go in all your journals, and then you had a little box of them. Michelle, what are you making? I didn't see what you said. The chat sometimes goes by too fast for me. So Jamie's saying she went to a big box store today and took a ton of those page sticky paint samples, and your kids claimed they didn't know me. Jamie, we've all been there. So GT Renee saying she is making coffee dyed index cards. Awesome. And cutting out images for magazines that your mom gives you. Oh, that's so sweet. Michelle, what are you making? I missed what you said because it just went up to the other people typed, so I didn't get to see what you said you were making. You know what? Tags, I love old clothing tags, especially if you have friends that work in retail stores. They get them all the time. Those I love too. I like to repurpose anything. But that's just me. That's just moi and my tag addiction. I don't know why I have a tag addiction, but was it a lizard that crawled? There was no lizard. Was there a lizard, Bet? Are you making fun of me? Are you making fun of me, Susan? So you guys want to hear my lizard stories? Okay. You guys know that I live in the tropics. Okay. And our lizards here are called geckos. Well, there's all different forms of lizards. There's also like Jacksons, which are like chameleons, and they have horns. Have you guys seen those? But they don't live, I mean, they could live where I live because it's hot enough, but they actually live more in they live in a different place from here. But you could have them here. So you could have any kind of things. We don't have really any snakes. We don't have any snakes here, which is great. But we do have big, huge spiders. Not poisonous, but they're kind of scary and hairy, and they're called cane spiders, and they can be quite large and quite frightening. And then you're making a shabby wall hanging. Awesome, Michelle. I'll have to, if you posted pictures, I'll definitely go check them out. So, and you're making paper clips, Scotty? Good for you. Anyway, so our cat, I told you guys that we have this little cat. We have this little rescue cat that we've had since she couldn't, anyway. We bottle fed her. She's a whole nother story. Maui has a huge feral cat population, which I'm sure that they do on many places. But I think it makes it more predominantly noticeable when you live on an island. So, the cat loves to go out, and I told you guys about her getting a bird last week, but the bird lived, and she also gets these geckos, these lizards. Now, they're not your normal size lizard. Like, the lizards are big. Like, they could be, the bodies of the lizards could be anywhere from like 4 inches to 6 inches long. The bodies, not including the tail. And she loves it when you're in the shower or in the bath, like when you're in the bathtub or the shower, she'll come in, like she can open the door, she can push it, and it doesn't shut totally well. So she pushes it and comes in, and she'll leave you a present. She loves to come, and when my youngest daughter's home, she leaves them in her bed, which we've had many times, some screaming episodes from that. So, hi, Kiala. So, oh, Carrie, I want to see your Christmas hymnal ornaments. I bet they're gorgeous. So, I've been telling Mr. Wonderful about, like, you know, he's been working a lot, so he's not here very often. So, she brings them into the bathroom. Well, the first thing the lizards do when she brings them in the bathroom is they lose their tails out of stress. So I was telling him the other day, I said, and the bathroom does not have a window in it, okay? It doesn't have a window. It does have a space under the door, but it doesn't have a window. So I was telling him the other day, I said, there are a number of lizard tails in the bathroom, and I'm not picking them up. Like, behind the toilet, you know, in the dark area on the floor. I said, I'm not picking up the lizard tails. I'm just not. So he was like making fun of me. He thought I was exaggerating. I said, there's like 3 lizard tails under there. I said, and subsequently, you know what that means. That there's lizards in there too. Okay? And they're alive because she doesn't kill them. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, and there's no place for them to get out. So I said, you know, and her bathroom is teeny tiny. I mean, small. Okay? So I said, you know, could you please just have a peek around and see if you can find those lizards? Because there's not very many places they could hide, you guys. There's not, the bathroom is like so tiny. So he was sort of making fun of me, right? He was like making fun of me. Oh, big lizard, big bad lizard, whatever. He was just like making fun of me. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he goes into the bathroom and he sees those lizard tails and he cleans them up. He picks up the lizard tails and throws them outside, you know? Yes, lizard tail, a pile of lizard tail behind the toilet. And they're long. They're not, so if the body of a lizard is like this long, the tail is equally long. So the tail, so can you imagine? All right. And they're big. And I'm sorry, you guys, there's a lot of things that I pick up and clean up, but I'm not doing lizards. I'm not doing lizards. I'm not doing lizard tails. It's bad enough that I do the spiders and the birds and the bird feathers and whatever and all that stuff, right? But I draw the line some places. So he was making fun of me. He just thought it was just funny as anything, right? And I said to him, please look for these lizards, because I have gotten out of the shower before and the lizards will be like no tail looking at you, and they play dead, but they're like quite large, and they're just like looking at you with these eyes, like, and you're like, you know, and they're freaked out because they've been caught by the cat and brought in and left in there. And there's probably a colony of them in there right now, okay? So he was making fun of me, and he cleaned up the lizard tails and what have you. Well, the next morning, early, because he's been leaving for work really, really early, he's in the bathroom, and I hear the cat. She's coming in, you know, and I can hear the door, like, I'm in sleep. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to be asleep, okay? And I can hear her pushing the door, and he's in the shower. I can hear her pushing the door, pushing the door, pushing the door, and I can hear it, you know, pop open. Like, she knows what she's doing. And I'm certainly sure she has a big lizard, and she's leaving it in there for him, right? So she must, I don't know if she had a lizard or whatever, but she must have, because he said, oh, there's another, I hear him from the bathroom. Now, I'm supposed to be asleep. I hear him go, oh, there's another lizard tail, like when he gets out of the shower. And I'm like, okay. So I hear him shut the door, right? And I hear him like, and the next thing I hear is blah! Like this, like, and I'm like, oh, she must have brought a lizard. Okay, so he gets out of the bathroom and he comes to tell me. He said, I will do a thorough sweep of lizard. I will do a thorough lizard sweep. I'm like, oh, really? What happened? So he says, you know, and he's sitting on the toilet. In other words, this bathroom is so small. Tiny, you guys. There's no place for the lizards to hide. I don't know where they're hiding. And he goes to pull toilet paper off the toilet paper roll, and the lizard flies out of the toilet paper roll. Flies out of the toilet paper roll and on him. Because I told you the bathroom's small, there's no place to hide. The lizard was so scared of the cat hiding inside the toilet paper roll. Okay? That's my life, you guys. I'm just glad it was him and not me. Because you know what? I would not have been happy. I'm over it sometimes. Are you guys over it sometimes? I'm totally over it sometimes. I'm big time over it. Okay? This is my life. So when all of you think that living in the tropics is just so romantic, you can just have that picture in your mind about the big lizards and the toilet paper roll. Okay? That's my life. But I'm so glad it was him. Can I tell you, I'm so glad, because I didn't need it to be me. I did not need it to be me. You're laughing so hard. I know, poor Hottie, right? But he deserves it, because he was making fun of me. He was totally making fun of me. He was like, yeah, lizard, you know, lizard, or whatever. See? See, that stuff comes back. It comes back on you. It's it's real. The struggle's real. Okay? The struggle is real. Oh my God. I know, right? Your husband asked you what you're laughing at. See, when you guys, I cannot even make this stuff up, all right? Like, who would ever think a lizard would be hiding inside their toilet paper roll? Well, it's because the bathroom's so small, and he's probably so scared of the cat. Oh my God, you guys, this is my life. It's like so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So what I'm thinking is, I might take, see, you guys, see, who could make this stuff up? It's so silly. It's beyond ridiculous. I'm thinking I don't know whether I'm going to just glue these on. I'm telling you. This is my life, you guys. See? This is totally my life. So now he swears to me he's done a full sweep of the bathroom for the, he said he's done a full sweep of the bathroom for the lizards. I'm like, okay, sure. No, I can't, you guys. I don't even know what to tell you. This is just how it rolls in my life. Okay, can't decide whether I want to can't decide whether I'm going to glue this little yellow thing to a piece of this coffee dyed paper and put it on here, or if I want to make a paperclip embellishment, in which case I would, I don't know. I think I'm just going to cut out a few more and then I'll decide. This is how it rolls with me, you guys. This is my life. It's so ridiculous. It is a good place to be sitting when a lizard scares you. Okay, Scotty's saying she bought a hanging plant and she had it in the passenger seat of her car and she's driving home and a huge brown praying mantis flies out toward you. Oh my God. That would definitely do me in too. It's not funny, but it is. You know what I mean? It's not funny, but it is funny, right? It's not, you can't, you guys, it's like the struggle's real, okay? The struggle is real, sisters. The struggle is real. You can't get away from it. Even when you try, you can't get away from it. It's like, this stuff happens. Guys, it's like, it's real. The struggle is totally real. The struggle's real. It be happening. It always, and the worst part of it all is that, you know, the glee, the like, thinking that I'm like, it's basically like thinking that I'm the one that's like, crazy. You know what? It's what it is when you live in the tropics. And you know what? Obviously lizards don't do anything to you. But the whole point of like, I don't know, you guys, after all the kids I've had, I'm over picking up creepy, crawly, slimy things. Okay? I mean, is anybody there with me with that? I'm over it. I decided I'm just going to glue it on my page. A praying mantis, though, I've had that. They are here too, and they do fly. And you're right, Scotty. It can be unnerving. It could be very unnerving, especially if you're, you know, driving. It would definitely almost cause you to have a wreck. It totally could. It could totally cause you to have a wreck, or that's just ridiculous. So I want you guys to focus on, instead of focusing on finishing something, focus on enjoying the process. Okay? Because if you focused on enjoying the process and you did a little bit at a time, eventually you get to the point where you did finish it. Okay? It just happens. You can't help but do it, right? But it's like when you focus on having to finish it, obviously if it's a gift for somebody, you do have to finish it if you want to give it to them. But if you focus on the process, so if you've never made a journal, start with a 10-page. 10-page would be, or a 20-page journal, which would be 10 pages folded in half. Get your envelope, make your cover. I think I'm going to put some flowers. I was looking, I do have a pile of vintage images, and I was looking through them to see if I could find one that screamed cover for me. So I'm going to look for that. I'm not doing it today, but we'll work on the cover together after we get most of the insides compiled. What did I make this corner pocket from? Just paper. Just like I folded it. I can show you how. It's got like two. I made it in one of the videos that we did, or one of the live streams. I can show you a square of tea-dyed paper. That's what I made it out of. A square of tea-dyed paper. And like this one is just, now you could sew these in, and if you get really good, go ahead and sew them in if you really enjoy it. But you know, you don't have to, it's not, you guys, you have to enjoy the process. If you're not enjoying the process, then let it go and find something else. You know, like for a while. Sometimes I'll fiddle with something. You guys, if I find this, I think that I don't know. I made a paper doll journal, which I have to tell you I loved. But it was probably the most fiddly journal that I ever made. And I made it and I gave it away, but I made 2 sets of the paper dolls. And I started to make, because the journal was so fiddly, I was trying to make more than one at a time. So that I would, so I think somewhere in my stuff, I don't think I, sometimes if I'm too over it, I give it away. You know what I mean? I give it away even if it's not finished. I give it away as Happy Meal in process, because I can't, you know, but I don't think I gave it away, but I could have. If I didn't give it away, I will find it and I will totally show you guys these paper dolls, and they were really, it was really fun. I enjoyed the paper doll process, but it was sort of, it was very fiddly. It was super fiddly. So this is fiddly what I'm doing right now, cutting up these little flowers to put in here. But I think it also gives you a better understanding when you do receive a journal that has a lot of detail in it. Like say you buy a journal from somebody that makes, like, one of my favorite YouTube artists is Nick the Booksmith. Have you guys ever watched her videos? She basically just makes journals and sells them, and they're really cool. But when you see and you make your own like this, oh, thanks, Carrie. I mean, it's nothing. It's just flowers from a book. But I'm just saying, I'm doing this to show you that you can make your journal from anything. You don't have to go and buy some crazy expensive anything. If you have those magazines, and I know you guys get them, do it. You know, if you can buy yourself a package of Kool-Aid and make yourself a Kool-Aid spray, do it. I mean, I told you guys I bought these. These were on sale, really super cheap, or I would not have gotten them. And I only got them because my enabler, I have an enabler. Do you guys have an enabler? I have an enabler, Dee Dee Willingham, who I love, YouTube artist, Ustream artist. She loves those magicals, and she was my enabler, and that's why. And then one of you guys sent me the link when they were $5. And then I was bad. I sent the link to my sister. She always wants to buy me something, so I sent her the link. So she bought me. I told her she could only buy me the ones that were on sale for $5. She couldn't buy me the ones that were normally priced, which were like $17 or $20. I know. Where did all these people come? I don't know where they all came from. We have 637 people in our Facebook group. Now, granted, not everybody is active, and that's fine. But it's happened, what, like, we've had our Facebook group like, a month? No, I didn't see what she posted today, Renee. What did she post? What did Nick the Booksmith post today? I didn't see. Thanks, Diane. Honestly, I think I'm just thrifty. I think it just comes from my need to be thrift. What did she post today? She posted Sweet Sister. No, what did she post? Okay, there's a bunch. You lurkers, jump in. We can't see your face, okay? But we can all feel your energy, and we're happy you're here with us. Just speak up. Just say hey. Say hey, and say, you know, well, tell us what you're working on. Tell us what's on your crafty table. You know? Tell us what's on your crafty table. So I think our Christmas in July is going to extend to Christmas in August too, because there's like, oh, so she's saying that Nick the Booksmith got a gorgeous custom order where the recipient sent original ephemera. Oh, that's so awesome. I love her books. You know, I love her books, and I like what she does. She makes all the components of her books. She makes her book. She makes the covers. She makes them. So she makes everything. I like her work. I love her work very much. I don't know. I mean, they're gorgeous. Her books are gorgeous, and worth every penny. And that's the reason I'm telling you. You're not lurking, you're watching. Michelle, we know you're here. You're working on ATCs, Debbie? Awesome. But Renee, the reason I'm even mentioning her is because, you know, like if you've ever sat down and you've made yourself a journal, you know, you've sat down, you've dyed your papers, you've tea dyed your, coffee dyed your papers, you know, you've baked them in the oven, you've ironed them afterwards. I think she irons all hers. I don't iron on mine because I like the way they crunch. And then you've made all your ephemera and you've worked on all of it. And then you see someone like her and she's charging what she charges for a journal. you can really respect it, right? You can really say, wow, you know, that was like such an awesome, it was such an awesome journal. And now that I've made my own, you know, it's like you know what goes into it. Because I've been a metalsmith for a long time. Metalsmith is like a person that works in jewelry or metalworks, right? And people would come and take classes, and you know, they would bring, you would ask them to bring like pictures of what they wanted to work on. You want to give them some inspiration, right? And of course, everybody went to a Tiffany's catalog and would bring like, you know, pictures of these. First of all, most of the things were made from wax in those catalogs, which means they carve the piece of, they carve the component in wax and then have it cast in metal. But they would bring it to the class, and then you would say, okay, well, get your piece of metal out and let's like saw, let's learn how to use a jeweler's saw, and let's saw. The very first thing we would make in a class is make a metal bookmark, which they come out really beautiful. But you know, make a metal bookmark. And inevitably, halfway through the metal bookmarking making process, which just teaches you skills, you know, teaches you metalsmithing skills, sawing and filing, piercing, sawing, and filing, right? People would suddenly have a much greater appreciation when they from that point forward of anything that was handmade, anything, especially in metalwork. Well, I think it's the same thing with book arts. You know, hi Fiona. You know, I think it's the same way in book art. So I think when you start making your own journals and you fussy cut all these like little pieces to go with your embellishments, and you tea dye and coffee dye your paper, and you do all that, and then you suddenly go, wow, you know, that's a lot of work. You have a greater understanding of what it takes. You didn't miss anything, Jennifer. You didn't miss anything. You missed my lizard story. That's how you missed. I think you have a greater understanding of what goes into making one of those journals. And I love her work. I think her work is exquisite. You know? That's all. That's the reason I'm bringing her up. I love her work, though. I mean, I like a lot of people's work, but I love her work. She definitely takes it to another level. I've marbled with shaving cream, Sherry. It's fun. It's actually sort of addictive, don't you think? I've used, what are you using? I used inks. I've used ink with it. I've used acrylic paint, inks, and spray ink, and what else have I used? Alcohol inks. I've used all kinds of stuff. So that little page has one little thing. It looks so, you guys, I'm so used to, you know, my journals are so loud. This is so plain for me. All right, let me put some more. I need some more pockets. Let's figure out how many pockets I want in this thing. So now you know, like, for me, it's just a great experience of like, of realizing for my own self that, you know, what you make and do takes time. So that's why when you start making it and you can't finish it in one sitting, it's okay. We're happy you're here, Fiona. You're not too late. Okay, lurkers, say hi. Come on. Chat, chat, chat. Say hey. Just tell us where you're from. Tell us your name, where you're from. That is all. That is all you need to do is tell us your name and where you are from. I have some pockets in here. I've put pockets in everything. You guys know me. I have to have pockets on everything. I don't know why, but I do. I'm a pocketer. I'm a pocketer. I'm a pocketer. Don't know why, but I am. Maybe I'll put it in here. I like it there. Well, I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me, and I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate your input, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you that have joined our Facebook group and are sharing your stuff. You know, it's not just for paper crafting. It's share whatever you want to share. I'm going to eventually share some of my jewelry stuff with you guys. I just, you know, it was such a passion and love for me for such a long time. And then I just had to take a break from it. Does that happen to anyone? Does anyone have a passion like that and then they just have to like take a break from it? So that's just where I am. But I will share with you eventually share with you guys my metal smithing jewelry extravaganza. I will share it with you. Hi, Mary. You're from Louisville, Kentucky? You're not lurking, you're watching and enjoying. You know what, Mary? It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. You know, what's really nice though is that, you know, there's like a lot of people that if there's like 37 people watching, but only 12 people chatting, we just want you to know that you're welcome. You know, we just want you to know you're amongst friends and you are welcome. And I hope you guys make one of these journals, whether you make a Shabby Chic one or not. So the next one I'm going to make with you after we finish our Shabby Chic one is I'm going to make you my style journal. My style, what I would call like a, I don't know, like a bohemian out there journal. Because I find it fun, like where I make all my stuff out of it. And it's not necessarily all made out of trash, although I do like to use junk mail and stuff. I've made a junk mail journal with you guys. I'll make a journal like this, but my style, what I enjoy. Let's see. It needs some loudness going on in here. There ain't no loudness in here for me. So lots of lace. And I think I am going to go back and dye some of this lace. I think I am going to, because I think it needs it. I don't know what colors yet. I don't know if I'm going to do them pinks because the cover's pink, or if I'm going to do them coffees, or I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Laurel, did you ever start your journal? Laurel, did you ever start making your journal? You were going to make a vacation journal, right? Am I wrong? Hi, Patricia. Welcome from California. We're happy you're here. My name is Shelly, and I live in Maui, on the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. And there's lots of people from all over the world. Some from Texas. Fiona's from Australia. I don't know. Where are you guys from? Tell everybody where you're from. I always like to know where people are from. What's really cool is that we were talking about crafty best friends, and a couple of the girls found out they were from really close to each other all the way in South Africa. How's that? That's crazy, right? That they meet on YouTube? Chatting in a YouTube group? I think it's crazy. Maybe it isn't, but I find it a little amusing. And right now I'm fussy cutting these flowers out of this flower book, or as one of you guys told me, cranky cutting, which I thought was hilarious, but hey, Linda. Mississippi in the house. Where do you live in Mississippi? I've been to Mississippi. Are any of you guys using all of your time to collect really cool bits and pieces to use as marking tools for your painting and crafting if you guys are out like hiking and hanging out in the yard. Is anybody doing that? Anybody bothering to go and hang out and do that? You know, I also do the same similar thing with, do you guys do this with magazine pages too? I do it with magazine pages too. I fussy cut out images that I really like, and then I think I'm going to make this in a paperclip embellishment. Do any of you guys do that? What I'm thinking I might do though is I might put some lace behind it and make a paperclip embellishment. Don't know. Maybe I'll glue it onto here and then cut it out and put some lace. Jennifer says she wants a crafty best friend. So you're from West Virginia, Carrie? Awesome. Yeah, Valerie and I could be crafty best friends. She lives in Oahu. We probably have more, we could be more likely to see each other if we could fly to one island or the other and be crafty best friends. So Jennifer wants a crafty best friend. So if anybody else is looking for a crafty best friend, could you please let Jennifer know? She would like a crafty best friend. And I love that, Jennifer. It's awesome. So if you guys have never watched my paperclip embellishment ridiculousness, you know what I might do instead of doing it like that? I have an idea. Where's my tiny piece that I had a piece that was left over? So usually, normally I would go ahead and glue it down on the paper, on the, I would glue it on the cardboard. But what I'm thinking is I might put a border around this so that I can put some lace on it. So because I kind of fussy cut all around it, and that's sort of like not, the edges are a little bit rough. You know what I mean? Like too detailed for a big, thick piece of cardboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it like a little tiny border. Thanks for you guys. We're doing a giveaway over on Crafting Mama's Facebook group today. Well, it'll be on Friday. The drawing will be on Fridays in Friday's live stream. And it's so easy. And the recipient of the drawing, whoever wins the random.org drawing will get some crafty goodness from me. I'll send you guys some crafting supplies. One of my little kits that I make up, one of my little grab bag kits, which is just all kinds of random cool stuff. A few handmade bits in there, and it also has like a lot of really cool stuff like you know, some tea-dyed or coffee-dyed paper, some really cool ephemera, just different little bits and stuff from Hawaii. Just stuff if you wanted to make your own, like components that you would use in your own journal. That's what I think that's what this week's giveaway is. But all you need to do to enter is go over to the Facebook group and join. First of all, join our Facebook group, and then go to the giveaway, and then comment and post a link to your favorite YouTube artist. And I'm not asking you to post me, okay, please? I think it's really great that we share people that we don't know. It gets us more familiar with new and cool people. And if you have your own YouTube channel, there's a place in the group for you to post that as well. So go on over and post your own YouTube channel, and you know, talk about yourself and put your stuff and post what you make. The only thing is the Facebook group, there's no selling. So if you sell something, you know, I don't want you to be taken out. And Michelle says if she wins, she wants the Shabby Chic journal. Michelle, this journal's taking me forever to make. I should have already finished it, but I'm trying to do it on air, and I'm trying to do it once a week, and I might give this journal away if I make it, if I finish it. I gotta finish it first before I can commit to giving it away. It's like ridiculous. It's taking me like, and I'm futzing over it. I'm futzing over it. So, you know, there's a couple of really cool things. People are posting their work, and I really love it. I really love that all of you guys are sharing your crafts. Kathy said she tried her hand at making the heart and the large wings today with book pages. Awesome. It is very sticky for sure. It is. So, you know, you just have to wash your hands in there. But it's fun. It's definitely a fiddly craft, okay? It's a fiddly bit. Alright, when I finish cutting this out, I'm going to show you guys how to make my hidden paper clip. It's not my personal hidden paper clip. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that do it. I'm sure that you probably will find somebody. I made a video on it like eons ago about paperclip embellishments, magazine paperclip embellishments, hidden paper clips. Okay, so that's just, this is the, can you guys see it? It's got the pasta box on the side, and I did glue the image down on a piece of this coffee dyed paper and cut around it. Now I'm thinking I might add some lace. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Haven't quite decided. Okay, what are you guys right now missing? Okay. Ash is saying that she has a group of ladies she video chats and crafts with, and it's a lot of fun, and they do it every Monday for 2 hours, and it's scheduled, and we know it. That's awesome, Ash. And then Scotty's saying she used 2 new glue sticks tonight. Were they last night? What a brand you wanna share? Okay, so let me see if I'm gonna put. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna put lace or not. I guess I could put a little lace, but the journal's got a lot of lace in it already. I don't know if I should put lace. I can't. Nothing is like. Usually I have a definitive. That would be great. And now I'm just kind of like, eh. Show the cover. Oh my god, it's in my mess here. Here's the cover. Do you guys see the cover? It's just a paper napkin, you guys. It's not that exciting. It's a paper napkin decoupaged onto a manila envelope, and then I took some really cheap craft paint and painted over it because it was really bright. It was, I don't know if I have a piece of it. It was this color. See, it was like this. That was what the original color was, so it's a little bit more subdued. Alright, what do you guys think? So if you guys want some crafty best friends, chat each other up and tell each other who you want. Say, I want a crafty best friend, this is where I live. Now you can have, you can have a couple of different kind of crafty best friends. You can have crafty best friends that you just talk to, like you just hang out and show each other what you're making, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in person. Or you can have a crafty best friend that you meet in person. So you can have like a couple of different kind of crafty best friends. Okay, so this is the next step if you want to make the hidden paper clip. I need a pen or a pencil. Let me see if I have a pencil. Okay, I have a pencil. Okay, you want to draw, you want to go to your pasta box, and you want to draw the template for this because you're going to cut it out again. All right? And what you want to do is, if you don't want the blue side to be the back of your, if you want the paper side to be back, turn your image over, okay, so that you're tracing around the blue side. Does that make sense? Unless it's just a round circle or whatever, and then you could use a circle punch. This is how I also make paper clip blanks. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever make paper clip blanks where you're going to glue the paper clip? And I sent them to somebody. One of you guys here, I sent them to you. I sent you some paper clip blanks. Okay, so then You're going to cut that out, all right? Now, realize that you're going to have to probably trim it down a little, but that's okay. And then I'll decide in the interim if I'm going to, put, if I'm going to put lace in there or not. Haven't quite decided yet. If I had fibers, I could put, maybe I have a bag of stuff next to me. I should look at it and see if I have any fibers. If I have fibers, I could put fibers in it. Okay. Now it's a little bigger than my image. I need to cut it down till it's about the same size. A little bit smaller, actually. Yes, Scotty, we do have that big box store here. But you know what's really weird? Is we don't have... So, when you go into our big box store that you're mentioning... You guys know I'm not a big box store person. But when you go into the big box store that you're mentioning... Our craft aisles are like probably a third of what you would have like on the mainland. Okay, so it's like, because sometimes like I'll go online and I'll see like if I'm looking for something specific, like if I'm looking for, I don't know, whatever I'm looking for. Say I'm looking for, I gotta cut it down just a little bit more. Say I want a new ink or a paint or something and I see that that big box store has it, I'll go to mine and it won't have it. Like, you know, it just won't be here. And then if you want to mail it, if you want to order it online, it'll be ridiculous. Like, I wanted some of that craft text paper. Have you guys ever made anything with that? I wanted some craft text paper. And so I found it and it was really cheap. At that big box store that we're talking about. It was super cheap. But to ship it to me cost like 3 times the, say the craft text paper was like, I don't know, $10 for the roll of it or piece of it or whatever it was. To mail it to me or to ship it from that big box store was $30. So, is that ridiculous? So, I try, whenever possible, not to shop at that big box store. I can't be totally anti that big box store because there's some things that you can only get there. Trust me, I've tried. I've tried. So, the thing is, you want to make your back piece a little bit smaller than your front piece, unless you want to see it. And if you're using, unless you paint the, because this is going to be a paper clip, so you're going to see it. So unless you want to paint the inside of your pasta box, which I'm not feeling like painting it, but I may have to. Not on this side, but I may have to paint it on the side of the, usually like if it's a boot or a shoe, I cut it out exactly. This one is, I fussy cut this one too much, so the edges were a little too wonky, and I could have cut it out with an X-Acto, but I didn't. I didn't, you guys, I didn't. I didn't cut it out with an X-Acto. I should have, but I didn't. It's a little bit more. And then I may have to paint the back side of that other one. Alright, you guys, I started out with a clean table. As you can tell, it's not that way now. So I didn't get to see, did any of you tell me that you went to see Carla? I am going to paint the back side of this. Did any of you guys say that you went to watch her today? You guys all went over to see her? Oh, I see some crafty best friending happening, and that makes me even happier. Crafty best friending makes me happy. Crafty best friending makes me happy. As long as you guys don't stand each other up and aren't mean to each other. That part I can't handle. I can't handle that part, but I can handle all the other parts. So I'm just painting the back because I don't want the blue thing, the blue side to show. I mean, I guess I could let it show like it really doesn't really matter, but I'm painting the back of the image part. So, I'm saying some prayers for you too, Fiona. I hope you feel better. I hope everything goes well. I hope everything goes well. Okay, that part I've got done. Now I'm going to show you. I don't need to paint this side, but I'm going to show you how you make your. I've got to move my mess, you guys. I told you guys I cannot craft neat. I don't care what I do. I don't care how I start. It just doesn't ever work out like that for me. Crafting neat is not in my veins. I just can't do it. Okay, I think I'm going to use this as a big paper clip. It doesn't need to be a big one, but that's what I have right here in front of me. So what you want to do is, if you want your paper clip hidden, you want to go to the top part of, not totally to the end, but of where you're going to put the paper clip. So let's see the image. This image doesn't really matter. There's no really top or bottom. So let me see. So I'm going to cut my notch up here. And this you do need an X-Acto knife for. Okay, you do. And a craft mat would be great, like a one that you could cut under. I have one underneath all of this. There's a self-healing mat, so I'm not cutting it on my table. I have a self-healing mat under here. Then I have, can you see it? I have a self-healing mat. Then I have the back side of my contact paper, just the discarded piece, and I have a piece of wax paper. So I'm just going to take it to I'm just going to cut it on here. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I want to cut it. You want to cut it as close to the top without, you don't want to cut it too close because you don't want to, you don't want to cut it off the top. You know what I mean? Cut the top off. Now I'm going to stick the smaller piece of my paper clip inside. Now this one can't be totally hidden because the paper clip's longer. Then I'm going to take my image. Now I have to decide if I'm going to put some lace, but then I'm going to glue my lace on top. But do you see now the paper clip is, if you have a small paper clip, I made some the other day, I don't know where they are, but the paper clip goes down farther into it instead of the paper clip starting down here at the bottom and being really long. It'll sit different on your page. So let me just decide whether I'm going to put lace or not. First of all, let me clean my space off for a second here and then deal with my, see if I want to put a piece of lace underneath it. Or I was going to look and see if I had any fibers. That's what I was going to do in my bag of stuff. What are you guys talking about? I'm missing all the chatting today. You guys are clapping? What are you clapping for? What did I miss? Tell me what you're clapping. You guys are clapping? Who's clapping for who? Oh, you know what I do have here? Let me see how this will look. That's a little too shabby. But let me see. Let me see if I can find my fibers in this mess here I've got going on. Hi, Danina. We're happy you're here. Hi, Ginsberg dolls. And more. Ginsberg dolls, where are you? Where are you located? Oh, it's Lynn. I was like, I don't know Ginsberg dolls. It's your business account. Hi, Lynn. We're happy to see you, Lynn. I'm just looking to see if I can find some fibers, but I may not have any fibers here. Like, how did I get here with it without it? It's like so ridiculous, but anyway. Let me see. Are you having a good day, Lynn? Liz, you're at work too? What do you do, Liz? Tell us about what you do. And all you lurkers out there, say hi. So I'm looking in my new Phaedra stash of stuff she sent, which I love. And I'm going to see if I can cut a piece of this off and see how this is going to look with my flower. See if I'm going to like it with my paper clip. With my paper clip. What are you guys talking about? I'm missing all the chat. Let me just see if I can cut some of this up to see if I'm going to like it or not. So Lynn's saying she has a Ruby Lane shop. Ruby Lane's kind of like Etsy, isn't it? Liz says she's self-employed. I mean, she has the most demanding boss ever. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. I'm going to try to make my own fibers with this, you guys. This is so silly. I know. Hey, hello, lurkers. Say something. I agree with you, Renee. Say something. Say a little something, something. Say a little something. It's always good. Yeah, it's Etsy. It's like Etsy, but it's for antiques, Ruby Lane. So, do you sell antique dolls, Lynn? Is that what you sell? What do you sell? Tell me what you sell, Lynn. Tell us all about it, Lynn, while I try to figure out if I can make some fibers from this for my flower. And I use every size paper clip. This happens to be a large one. You know, I wasn't planning on making paper clips today, but you know me, I can't ever follow protocol. This is like a teeny tiny one. So I use like the regular ones, and then let me see if I find the box. I had the box here. Okay, so this is an Office Depot jumbo paper clip, whatever size that is, and then I have an Office Depot tiny paper clip inside. You can use any kind of paper clips you want. There's no hard and fast rule. So you sell antiques and collectible dolls, toys, and miniatures. Awesome. And Carrie says she has her own Facebook group. Yes, you can share the name, Carrie. Have at it. And you can also go on Crafting Mama's Facebook group and share it there too. You know, there is more than enough in this world for all of us, and I am a huge fan of that. You know me, girls. I am not exclusive. I'm not exclusive, and I don't want anything to be all about me. That is never my idea. Never, never, never. Yes, Carrie, please share it. Well, Lynn, I would love to see you should go, Lynn, I want to see your shop. I love dolls. In fact, you know how we all have our own, like, weird little weakness thing? Dolls are mine. I haven't collected dolls in a long time, but when I was a kid, I used to collect, I was a serious doll collector. My mother was, like, a serious doll collector. Alright, I'm going to make my own version of a flower, of a lacy bit thing, to see if I can put it behind my paper flower. With just what I have on my desk. Good for you, though, Lynn. Good for you. I'm happy for you. Good. I love dolls. Can I tell you, though, living in the tropics, collecting anything antique, it probably wouldn't work here because the bugs get to it. You know, I told you guys my story of the vintage books, right? The vintage. So Hottie used to collect rare books. Like, he is like a huge rare book collector. Like, he loves it. And when we left the mainland, I told him, I said, do not bring that with you. But you guys know men, right? So he brought some of it with him. And, you know, he kept it the best way you can here. And then, but he reads his rare books. He doesn't just, like, collect them to look at them. He reads them and holds them and he loves them and that sort of thing. So one day he goes to pick up his coveted whatever book it was. Honestly, I don't remember now. And the bugs had eaten it. So after that point, he took the other books that he had, which were worth I think he left most of them on the mainland, but he took the ones that were actually worth something, and he let them go. He let them go. He let them go. Because the bugs in the atmosphere don't work here. So Carrie says she has a business and it's called Cheer Boxes, and they're cheer boxes for military wives. That's her group on Facebook. And I missed the rest of it. You guys, it just goes too fast for me. It goes too fast for me. Okay, I like the idea of it, but I don't like it to go with this particular flower, to go with this particular cutout. So I'm just going to glue it together, and then the next one that I make, when I find something that'll go with my ridiculous Shabby Chic flower, I will put it together. Yes, there's paint still on my brush, and I mixed it in the glue. It's okay. So you do want to use a good wet glue. Like this one is Aleene's tacky glue. You want to use, like, you know, a glue-all glue, a tacky glue. You could use one of those, you just want to use a good glue, because you're going to be touching it. You're going to be messing with a clip, you know? You're going to be messing with it. And you want it, and you may need to put some glue on the other side of your cardboard as well. And then you do, before you put these in the mail, let them have a good long dry. If you're going to mail them off to somebody, let them dry really well, you know, so they don't get stuck into the I like the idea of making, and I will probably put some sort of stickles or diamond glaze over the top. But let me show you what the difference in making one that, like, is what I call the hidden paper clip. Obviously this paper clip's so big, you can only hide the paper clip as big as the object that you're making it on. Okay, but what I like, hidden paper clips are awesome for bookmarks. And you know, Jamie, this might be something you make for your soaps. If you had a really cool logo, because people would keep it, you know. So say you're gonna, it's still got glue on it, but let's just go to the page that we're gonna use it on, or put it on a page. So when you put it on a page, instead of it sitting up really high, what happens with the hidden paper clip part is, well, it needs to dry a little bit. Let me find a page that's not in the journal. Here, let's see. Okay, so what's cool is when you stick it in your page for your, see how far it'll sit down on your page? Do you see? Instead of sticking up really far in your journal. Well, it's a cheap idea, Jamie. And if you make them like this, like, and especially, I don't know what kind of soaps and stuff you make. Night, Michelle, we love you. Everybody go look at Michelle's, her wall hanging. Did you make a video of it, Michelle? Did you make a video of your wall hanging? Good night, Carla. So what's cool is if you feel like fiddling, or if you have a cool logo from it. Now what you would do next is, after it dries, is you would either add one of these glossy accents. Okay? And then that'll give it like a glossy, touchable surface. Or you guys know my favorite, that acrylic medium that I love to use. And you can use glossy accents and this diamond glaze as a, it's a dimensional, it says a dimensional adhesive. It will work as an adhesive, but it also gives it like a glass finish on the top. It makes them really nice. So, yes and no, Lynn. I mean, probably not any harder than it is on anyone else's. You can't really leave, like, I can't leave my glue sticks open, at least these new ones. Like, I usually leave my Oohoo glue stick, you know, and I leave it while I'm crafting. But this one, the moment you leave it out, it gets gummy. So then you end up scraping the top part off. I don't know, Jamie, I'm all about cheap. What did somebody call me earlier? I say, anyway, you get the idea. You totally get the idea. think this one is too big for a paper clip, but maybe not. Maybe we can make one out of this. So this is kind of a fun thing too. So if you wanted to make yourself a Shabby Chic flower, this is like, you know how when you were a kid you made yourself pom-poms? Did anybody make pom-poms for their shoes? Anybody besides me, like in the drill team, pep squad, whatever it was? So that's the easiest way I think to make flowers, but you guys may have an easier way, and it's an easy way without having to use any, sorry, I've got all my pages and papers and stuff here. I was going to see if I had a piece of, I thought I had a piece of plain fabric here, but I don't. Okay, let me see if I can find one. It's just the easiest way to make a Shabby Chic flower. Remember the other day I was going to show you guys how to make them, and then I got sidetracked. You guys know, I think I have ADD or something. Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to strip your fabric. And you can do it with anything. Anything. You're a baton twirler, so you know. So you want to just cut a strip of fabric, okay? And this is just muslin, okay? It's not anything fancy. You just need one long strip. Well, that one I cut too short, so hang on. Don't do that way. You want to cut, you want to tear a piece. I thought I had another piece on here. Now you can use it with anything. So if you have, it's best to do it with some cotton fabric or an all natural fiber fabric. So you want to do it with like a cotton or a silk or you know, stuff like that you can rip. Otherwise you could cut strips. So if any of you guys save or go to thrift stores and get any old cotton shirts or whatever, this is great. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to wrap it. You could do it on a card if you wanted to. You could take it on a card and do it. You guys know I'm too lazy. So just wrap it around your finger. Like 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then cut it off. Like a pom-pom. Alright? Same premise of making a pom-pom. So you've got that. Now I'm just going to use the threads that I have here. But you need something to tie it with. I'm just going to use the threads that came off the flower. I mean the fabric. And, sorry, I got my mess going on. Guys, I can't craft neat. No matter how hard I try, I can't craft neat. Alright, let me just clean my table up so you can see a little better. Alright, so you've got your pieces that you've wrapped around, and you want to tie a knot in it. You want to tie it in the center. Now, it doesn't matter, use any kind of string. It doesn't really matter because you're going to cut it off anyway. Alright, so you want to tie a knot. You might want to wrap it around again, depending upon what kind of thread, and you won't really see it because you're going to put something in the center of it. Alright? So just tie a knot in your thread. Now if you make those paper buttons that we made, you can put those in the center of this too. Alright? So this is what it looks like. You've got your thread and you've got your, or you can just leave this thread if you want, and you can use it and tie it around as like a bow. And I make bows like this. You guys, I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I can't. Somebody's going to throw it away. I'm not going to put, I'm going to make it the easiest, fastest way. So then you cut the ends. Alright, so then you just start spreading them out. You start spreading them out. And you trim the ones that are off that are too long. This was the end part, right? So that it matches. And if you want it to be super shabby, you start fraying it. You just take your fingers, especially with cotton fabric, and you just fray. Okay, and this is like, and you make them in multiple sizes. So maybe you make one 3 fingers wide, maybe you make one 4 fingers wide, maybe you make one, and if you wanted to do them on note cards, you could, I mean, you could take your, you could be all precise and, you know, wrap it around a bunch of times on a card or whatever. So here's, you know, and then, so that's this one. Now you can leave these and you can tie it to your journal. You could tie it to something. You could leave your tails and tie it, or you could cut them off and glue it. Okay, now here's one that I did out of that really sheer fabric. Do you see? And then glue them onto your paper clip. You guys know me, it has to be cheap and easy. I'm cheap and easy. Yep, you could spray it with an ink. You could spray it with a color. You could spray it with, got my page going on here with my color going on. I don't like to ruin my, I don't like to, so yeah, we could spray it. Let's see, what color should we spray it? Easy, girls, you know me, it has to be easy. I can't do, if it's difficult, I can't do it. All right. Now it's cheap and easy, girls. Cheap and easy. Alright, hang on. Let me just dab this one out. It's like a little hot pink. Maybe I'll spray it with like a lighter pink. Spray it with your spray inks. Get it going. Now, you can sew them too, but in all honesty, if you're just going to make some embellishments for this journal, you don't have to be that invested in it. Now, if you have those cool buttons that we made, those, remember we made those paper buttons? You could put one in the middle. If you had a bead, you could sew a bead in the middle. You could, if you have those little tiny, you know, those brads that you get in scrapbooking packs, you could put those in the middle. Decorative bead, decorative whatever, right? And you keep going until you like it, you know? Keep going until you like it. Let me just dry this one. It's like, but if you want it more shabby, just, and you could tea dye it. So if you made all these flowers, you could take it to the thing and tea dye it, or you could tea dye the fabric before you did it. Or coffee dye it, whatever works for you. Or get your acrylic paint and paint on it. You guys know me. It has to be cheap and easy for me. Cheap and easy. It's just wet from my spray inks. So, like, here's one layer, and then here, see, I did this one with that layer, so you could have that layer, and you could have that layer, right? Now you can glue them together or tie it together. It doesn't matter. And then you could do an even smaller one. Let me see if I can find some. Let me see if I can find a different fabric to make a. And you can use anything, you guys. This is not rocket science. You could use anything. Anything. Anything, anything, anything. Yeah, you could tea dye it. It would be great if you tea dyed it, right? It would look great if you tea dyed it. I mean, I just spray inked it because that's what I have here on my desk, but you could tea dye it. You could also take it now that it's spray inked and you could tea dye it. So it would be like brownie pink, you know, it would come out like with a little brown with a pink hue. If you have fibers, you can do your fibers the same way. I thought I had brought a ball of yarn over here with me, but I didn't. You could do it with fibers, you could do it with anything. Test it, you know? Yeah, you don't need any die cuts, you guys. I mean, you do if you want them to look a certain way, but you don't really. You know, less is better, I think. Right, I'm going to try to do with this piece of lace, and let's see how it works with the lace. This is sort of big lace. What did you make? You did microwave oven papers today? I haven't made mine in a microwave. Do they come out good in a microwave? I've only done them in a real oven. You know, like a regular oven. Not that a microwave's not a real oven, but you know what I'm saying. So save all those stringy bits that you have from stuff, you guys, because you can use all those strings too. So I've never microwaved them either, so I'm curious to know how they came out too. How did they come out? I would like to know, inquiring minds would like to know, Carrie. We are all waiting on the edge of our seat to know how your microwave papers came out. You have me, Liz, and Renee waiting to see how your microwave papers came out. You guys, if you have some cool buttons, put your buttons in the middle of it. Oh, now everybody's wanting to know. We're all like waiting. All waiting with bated breath to know how your papers came out, Carrie. We want to know how your papers came out. We're waiting to know how Carrie's papers came out. Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. You have a large jar of burlap strings. Oh, you could make them with burlap strings. You know, the other thing is you don't have to cut them. You could make them just like, I'll make one without cutting it and I'll show you. My mom used to make flowers and bows like this, you guys, out of everything. My mother was so crafty. She was like a craft queen, even more than me, okay? But she was a dancer, so she did things that were related to her art form. Like, you know, like I probably could have sewn a tutu before I was 10. If anybody's ever made a tutu, they're not real easy. Like a real tutu, not a dress-up one, like one for real ballet. Oh, she said they came out good. She'll share them in the group. Awesome. Okay. So, okay, here's a little tiny one to go on top of this one that was made for the white that was made. Okay, so here is the cheapest Shabby Chic flower ever. Okay, are we good with that? Hi, Sarita. Hi, Sarita. So you can either glue them or you can, I mean, I have the tails here because I haven't cut them off. You could tie them one around the other if you wanted to, or you could just glue them. I'd cut the tails off, I think, and glue them. And then you could put something in the center of it if you wanted to. Night, Jennifer. Who else is lurking out there? So does this give you guys some ideas? Remember I told you guys I was going to make flowers out of my sheets? Remember I was telling you about my flowers, my sheet flowers? Well, it was this. So I'll cut the tails off of these and then I'll glue them together and then you can see it. And then I need to decide if I'm going to put a button or something on it. I don't know if I have a button over here. If I have a button, I could put a button. Now you do want to use a heavy tacky glue or whatever to get this before you, you know what I mean? You don't want to use like you want to use if you have a fabric glue, use that. You could use hot glue if you have your hot glue gun on. Okay? And so you can really use anything for this. It's not, don't you remember we used to make our pom-poms out of those ridiculous whatever yarns or whatever? So I don't want to hear any of you guys say that you don't have a Shabby Chic flower that you can make. This is a no-sew made from muslin. One is some gauzy material that somebody gave me, a piece of a curtain that Phaedra gave me, which I like. Then this one is obviously the sprayed muslin, and then this is the, so I'm going to glue them together and then I can glue them onto a paper clip or I can glue them into my journal. So that's all it is. I mean, it's not too. Yes, I have some shredded sheets, Susan. I do. I have some shredded sheets. I do. I do. So you could go to town and make your shabby chic flowers. And the cool thing is you could make them any color palette you wanted. Right? So you don't have to be... So you can make them custom. You can make them custom to your thing. You can totally make them with sheets. You know, Ash, what I would do if I were you is if you were going to make them with sheets, I would shred your pieces. Shred your pieces and or cut one of them up and shred it, and then after you've made your flower, after you've tied it together, take a and dyed it, to take a hairdryer to it, and then fray it even more. But now you can see that you can make your flowers out of anything. They don't have to. Now we can make one that's not shredded, and then I'll show you that one. Let me see. What did I do with that? Here, I can make it out of this. I have enough left of this. We can make one that's not cut like a pom-pom. You guys are terrible. You have a bunch of jeans, so that jeans will work too. Any fabric, Carrie. Just try it, you know. You may want to try it to see, you know, like how many layers you need to make the kind of flower you wanted. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You can try it with anything. Jeans work good. I've made a lot of stuff with jeans. I've made a journal with jeans. Have any of you guys made a journal out of jeans? I've made a journal cover out of jeans. Jeans are so durable. I made a friend like a story quilt. I made a guy that I knew, his dad had passed, and I had made him a story quilt from jeans. I sewed up all these jeans that his dad loved to wear jeans and work. He was a businessman, but on the weekends he wore jeans and puttered around in like the yard, like he had a farm. So I found all these different kinds of jeans that his dad had, and I cut them up and made them into a quilt. So all you need to do, you can make bows this way too, you guys. So all you want to do is just start spreading the petals. Like once you've tied it together, spread them, and then work on it until you get it to the way you like it. That's all you need to do. I mean, it's not that difficult. And if you want it shabbier, you just keep working with it to fray it. You fray it until you keep... You guys, the dog's trying to get in my lap. I don't know what to do with her. Like, I can't put her in the other room or she'll cry. You guys have heard her when she cries, and then she wants to sit in my lap. It's so ridiculous. So you mess with it until you like the way it looks, and that's as simple as it gets. So that could be the base of your flower too, if you wanted to just make it without cutting it. Put a button in the middle, or this could be the base, you know, like the part that you start with. And then that's without it being cut. That one's kind of thick. But then if you looked at that, if that was your base, and then you wanted to add another smaller piece on top, you know. I mean, you can do it anyway. Just test it out until you get it the way you like it. There's no rules. Pinterest, the vortex. Oh no. Don't get Diana, are you still here? Diana is the queen of Pinterest. She gets me involved in Pinterest in ways that I wish I didn't even. Pinterest is definitely. Yes, Phaedra, she loves me. Look, Phaedra, I'm using some of the stuff you sent me. You sent me this, and I made flowers with it. And I used a lot of the lace. I used some of the pockets that I made today. Because I've got glue everywhere. I used some of the lace I I alcohol sprayed it or whatever, these Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays, and made him. So thank you for the lace. It's gonna all go to use. It may not all be in this journal, but it's all gonna go to use. So I think my pocket, my Shabby Chic journal needs like, I think my Shabby Chic journal needs at least maybe 5 or 6 pockets. Okay, what are we putting mustard on, you guys? What did I miss? Somebody said put mustard on it. What are we putting mustard on? What is the red on my page? The red on my page is this little paperclip embellishment that I made out of the I don't know if you're talking about me, but oh, Fiona touched a glue gun and you put mustard on it? Really? You made a butterfly out of your jeans, Carrie? That's awesome. So Diana knows how to use Pinterest. She uses it to save stuff, and she sends me really cool pins, but can I tell you guys, I get lost on there. I can't find anything. I can't navigate it to save anything. I'm not good at Pinterest. I'm not, I just get sucked in, and then I like, it's like a vortex for me. Pinterest is like a vortex for me. I think that that's the way they want it, right? Hey, puppy. You guys, she really wants to get in my lap. I have to take her everywhere with me. She's like ridiculous. I've never had a dog like this. The other dogs we've had have been like, yeah, they're okay with you, but they're like good with you. But they're like, they're not always on you. This one wants to be with me all the time. I'd like to see your butterfly too, Carrie. How's your, Lynn, how's your teenager? Are they well now? The baby's well, and you're feeling better? I know Charlie is right here. Charlie is just like, Charlie thinks that Charlie's my crafting buddy. Hi, Marcy. I'm sorry, Lynn. I am so sorry. It's awful. Being sick as a family is like the worst. When all of you get it, ugh. I think it's worse. I don't know. Believe me, we've done it all. I've had all of that. So you guys make your flowers. I can't wait to see your flowers. And if you glue them onto, I would use a hot glue gun. If either some thick designer tacky glue or some sort of fabric glue. If you guys have Fabri-Tac, use that. Or a hot glue gun to glue them, the layers together. But if you use a designer tacky glue or whatever, you have to let it dry, you know, before you manipulate it. And then glue them onto some paper clips. There'll be some great paper clips for your journals. If you get, for those of you that are making Shabby Chic journals or making any kind of journal, you can make this flower out of any kind of fabric. Your jeans ones will come out great because you can really fray those. They'll be awesome. If you want to make them bigger, get yourself a piece of cardboard. If you want to make them smaller, you know, just make yourself the template of the cardboard, you know, just like you made pom-poms. Oh, good, Carrie. I can't wait to see your butterflies. Yeah, Danina was telling everyone they should definitely go onto Pinterest and print out your templates for your tags, which I think is a great idea. If you want to do that, if you want to have different kind of, and you can print out some really cool templates for your tags. Like you could do some fancy templates. And that's better than having a die cutting machine because you can make them. And if you make yourself a pattern that you really like, you can cut them out of a thicker cardboard and then save it as a template, you know? Bye, Debbie. Oh, you got, oh, Deb, you got here late. I thought you said it is late. You're leaving, because it is late on the East Coast. I don't know, what time is it in South Africa? Oh, Lynn, we've been there, done that, worn that t-shirt. Hugs to you, Lynn. Thinking about you. Well, let's all send Lynn good vibes that she gets the baby to bed really quickly and easily and effortlessly and enjoyably. Easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Easy, effortless, and enjoyable. That's my vote, Lynn. My vote is easy, effortless, and enjoyable. If there can be such a thing when you're putting a child to bed. So you guys get to making your Shabby Chic flowers. I mean, you can make them out of anything. You see me, I'm making them out of like scraps. So make yours out of whatever you want to make them out of. Make them out of anything. There's no right or wrong. It's your journal. Do you guys ever make bows like this when you're tying them around packages? I do. You could use your sheets for that too, Ash. With the holidays coming up, make some really cool fabric bows. You guys, can you hear her? She's crying. So ridiculous. Come here. Where are you? Oh, she's right here under my desk. Okay, come here, pup. Come here. I can't get you. Come on. Come on, pup. All right, say hi to everybody. Can you say hi? Say hi. Say hi, Charlie. I can't get her very well. Good night, Carrie. Maybe we'll see you, night, Lynn. Charlie, say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say I'm here. Okay, sit here, Puppin. Have this little puppy. Bye, Renee. We'll see you. Maybe we'll see you on Friday. What did you were telling me about? Let's see. Your sister's asking for some help this week, and by the way, you're headed to Waikiki, or they are. They're headed to Waikiki. I live on a different island, but you know what? If they find their way my way, let me know. Night, Renee. Have a beautiful crafty week to you too. Yeah, thanks for reminding everybody. Please hit a thumbs up. That's awesome. Bye, Susan. Okay, which one of my lurkers are still here? Who is making flowers? Who's made these like little Shabby Chic flowers? These are going to look cute in my journal. I think I'm going to like them in my journal. And I like the pink, but I'm going to turn it this side so it's not so pink. And I think I might coffee dye it too. I may make a couple more pockets before we call it a night. I don't know. Good night, Laurel. Watch whenever you feel like it. We send you big cute hugs. It's 8 a.m. Sarita, where you are. Wow, it's early, right? You like them, Phaedra? Well, I got all this lace going on. Did you see all the lace that I've used? Was it Bet or Susan that called it my square dance dress? Which one of you girls called my journal my square dance dress? I've got this dog on my lap, you guys. I don't even know what to do. She's not even going to let me. Here, you want to sit behind me? Sit behind me, pup. Sit behind me. She wants me to hold her. Now she's trying to crawl back in the front, you guys. I can't win for losing today. Okay, so I'm going to get my square dance dress out, or my tutu. Yep, and you can make these kind of flowers and put them on a tag too. And you could make them out of your sheets too and put them on a tag. I'm the queen of tags. You know me and my tag obsession. I have like a total tag addiction. So here's my square dance dress right now. Here's what it's looking like right now. My square dance dress is going on right here. Oh my gosh, you guys, this dog. Now she's trying to crawl up my back. Oh Lord, can you sit down please? You're making flowers? Oh, you're not making flowers. You're gonna make them tomorrow? You don't have to make them. If it's not for you, don't make them. I'm not telling you. Do what works for you. But look how cute they look in your journal, especially if you tea dye them or coffee dye them, right? They definitely need some color because this is like the blandest journal I've ever made. But I think that side might be too pink, but maybe not. I don't know. But look how cool if you glue them in. If you glue them in and you let the bits and you let the bits hang out, look how cute it's going to look in the journal. Can you see it? And this is a pocket, so I don't have a tag on my desk, but this will be the pocket. But wouldn't that be cute? And so easy. Flowers on your tags are going to add a lot, Jamie, and you can make them out of scraps. Scraps, 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 and scraps. Anne calls my journal Scarlet. the journal has a name, okay? Her name is Scarlet. But I'm just saying, so like, can you imagine if you do this, if you make like 10 of these out of different kind of fabrics and put them on all the pockets and tuck spots, not all of them, but maybe just a few of the pockets and tuck spots in your journal? No, it'll be super cute. You'll like it. You'll be like, oh, I like that. That's really great. But this is thanks to Miss Phaedra. All of these bits and pieces came from Phaedra. I don't know if this muslin probably didn't, but all the rest of it came from Phaedra. They are shaggy, and I like them like that. So Phaedra sent me this box of, can I tell you, it was like I cried. Because you guys know, I was like, oh my God. Did you guys ever join one of those junk journal groups? And I'm not going to say which one. And then they all like have these like perfect like shabby looking supplies. And then you live in an island like me and you don't have any of that. And then you're like, well, I can't participate. And then with our big thrift store closing, that was kind of a drag. I did used to go scour for, I got some cheap lace curtains there, you know, like the, not really good lace, but you know what I mean. So Phaedra like hooked me up, okay? She sent me some cool stuff. And a little birdie sending me some stuff all the way from Australia. So I'm gonna, but I think that, you know, what happens is I fall in love with the stuff you guys send me, and instead of using it and letting it go, I'm gonna use it and hoard it. Is that terrible? Is that terrible? I'm going to use it and hoard it. I'm going to be a hoarder. Phaedra was so sweet. She is like so sweet. Yes, you can use coffee filters and baby wipes for the flowers. Coffee filters work great. Dried baby wipes, dryer sheets. If you guys have any dryer sheets. No, the longest flower, I don't know what the fabric is. It was a very sheer piece of, it's a small piece of sheer fabric. It's like some sort of organza. Phaedra's a doll maker, so who knows? Who knows what it was from? But it's awesome and I like it a lot. You can use it. So do any of you guys use dryer sheets? They work great too. If you want to, you could make them the same way. But you could also make them out of your regular sheets too. If you have some, if anybody besides me has some shredding sheets, you can make it out of that too. You could, you know what, you can make I've made these types of flowers out of t-shirt material too for my daughter's hair. You know, like, have you guys, when you have like a small child that wants to be color coordinated in every way and outgrows her clothes faster than you buy them, right? You can make them like that too. You can make them in layers, so the layers you're going to get a whole lot more from it. You can color the coffee filter the same way. You could use watercolor paper. You could use watercolor. You could use acrylic paint, watered down acrylic paint. You could use for your coffee filter. You could use food coloring. You could use Kool-Aid. You could use, if you're going to buy Kool-Aid, you know, obviously it's the one without the sugar. You know, it's like the little packets of dried Kool-Aid, right? So you could do that too. And yeah, that might be a really good thing for you to put in your soaps too, Jamie. I mean, use recycled stuff, you know. I'm sure people that are buying handmade soaps would love recycled packaging and stuff like that. Brown paper bags, you could make brown paper bag tags, you know, from your shopping bags, and put cool flowers that you make. You guys, the dog is trying to crawl in my lap still. She's sitting behind me in the chair, but she is trying to crawl on me. I think she thinks she's a bird. What are you doing, pup? Pup. Okay, what are you doing? You can use tea bags too. I've done tea bags. If you guys go and watch one of my tea bag, in my videos, I made a tea bag journal, and in it I made flowers out of tea bags, out of the used tea bags. I cut them apart. I made pockets, pages, and flowers. You can make that. I like the way that looks. You can also make ruffles out of it too. You know, Scotty, a million years ago, you're talking about Keurig cups. A million years ago, I saw somebody, and I can't tell you where, make, remember, like, Keurig cups are, maybe they're bigger, but remember when coffee creamer used to come in those plastic things? I mean, maybe it still does. I don't go anywhere where they serve it like that. Carrie, I'm tying my flower. Honestly, you could tie it with string, but I'm tying my flower with whatever comes off. See these, like, strings that are coming off my muslin? That's what I'm tying them with, because that's just what I have it on my desk. But you could tie them with anything. Just tie them with thread, because you're not going to use the strings. You could use any kind of string. So back to your Keurig cups. Somebody made plastic flowers, made little flowers out of those coffee creamer things. So I imagine you could do the same thing with Keurig cups. I haven't tried it. I have a Keurig coffee maker, but I use the refillable one. You know, where you put your own coffee in it. You guys, this chair is not big enough for me and the dog. Oh, there's a book there. That's why. Oh my God, there was a book behind me, you guys. And she was like, oh, poor pup. Is that better? You were trying to sit on the book? It does sound awesome. Tina, share a picture. Go to our Facebook group and share a picture. We'd love that. I would love to see that. I would love to see your heart-shaped tea bags. So now you guys have no excuses not, and I'll show you guys some sewed flowers. I just don't have a nylon thread in front of me, but I've made some really cool ones out of fabric where you just sort of cut. I'll show you the next time. I promise. They come out looking like these little white flowers like that. They come out that shape, and you sew them together and you put something in the center of it. But if you're going to layer your flowers, this is like a fun way to layer your flowers. If you're going to layer them, you know, if you're going to, see, doesn't, I mean, maybe separate they don't look great. Maybe separate they're just kind of like, oh, that's like ratty. But together they look much more substantial. And then if you had a cute little pearl or something, or a little brad, or a little, or those little buttons that we made out of, or the buttons that we made out of cardboard book page buttons, they would look cute on too. Maybe I'll make some small ones for that. And here's just one by itself with nothing. Ooh, free burlap coffee bags are awesome. I made handbags out of those at one point in my ridiculous life. Yeah, definitely spray one and keep them all different colors. Yeah, you could spray them with anything. So that'll be the beginning of my Shabby Chic flower extravaganza in this journal. And it needs about, I think I'm going to make, I'll make maybe 6 or 8 more of these little library pockets, different sizes. And then some of them I may stamp on. If you're going to stamp on it, stamp on them flat before you glue them together. And then, you know, if I have, I'll have to look. I think I have some, you know, like paint that looks like pearls. You know what I'm talking about? Jamie, your packaging is gonna rock. You're gonna make so many really cool. Telling you, make it out of recycled stuff. You'll be happy. First of all, you'll be happier for a couple of reasons. And you know what, Jamie? If you made them like this, you could leave the strings long enough to tie it around the package of your soap. Do you know what I mean? So you could, if you left the bottom string of the flower, if you did them double, and you left the bottom string long enough, the ones that you tie it together with, you could tie it around your package, right? And put them on there. And you can make them out of coffee filters, make them out of tea bags, make them out of, gosh, I don't think mine's perfect pearls. I think mine's like that cheap pearlized puff paint. You know what I mean? The super cheap puff paint. One of my kids had it, and I remember distinctly. I have a box of it somewhere. I just have to go in the garage and see. Definitely, Jamie. You could tell your customers are upcycling, and they will love it. They will totally, totally, totally love it. All right, I see a bunch of you lurking out there. Come on, before we say adieu, come on and tell us who you are and tell us what's going on with you guys. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, please go over and join it. Crafting Mamas on Facebook. Post your work. It doesn't matter that you don't make paper crafting. There's people that make... I love the lady that's painting her gnomes. I love those. She's painting... So there's a lady that's painting gnomes. Somebody is a rock hound and showing us her beautiful stuff. And then, you know, like, lots of people are doing their own cool thing, you know, and it's like really nice to see. It's really fun to see. It's fun to see and share what everybody's doing in their own world, in their own crafty world, without having to feel like they have to conform and do something like everybody else. And you guys know me, I'm not a conformist. I have my own way. Yes. Good night, Phaedra. Big hugs to you. Jamie, we're happy you found us too. We're happy you found. There is somebody in our group that makes soap. Somebody makes hemp soap. Remember, she was like posting today. She was making some hemp soap and she made something else. I can't remember. Do you guys remember? I hope you sleep good, Phaedra. Phaedra, I love your doll, by the way. Your one that you says is the size of a newborn. Love it. Love, love, love it. Yes, Jamie, the whole idea is that we share whatever we do. You know, right now my tangent's paper crafting, but... Oh, she made bentonite clay bath bombs. That's right. Somebody in our group was making bentonite clay bath bombs and hemp soap. Good night, Liz. Jamie, the whole idea is that we're just a bunch of crafty people that get together and share our love for crafting and friendship, kindness, and support. You know, just really supporting each other, and, you know, we're from all over the world. So where else in the whole world can you get together and just share what you love doing? There's some ladies that are, one lady that's crocheting up a storm. She makes really cool stuff. Oh, I can't wait to see what you post tomorrow, Tina. Yeah, so I'm glad you found us too. And you know, there's also lots of people on there that have lots of experience with different types of things. So if you posted on there, if you posted your soap and said, hey, I'm making soap, anybody got any cool ideas for inexpensive packaging, I can guarantee you 5 or 10 people would pipe up and say, this is what I think, this is what, and you obviously do it your own way. Nobody's claiming to be an expert, but we're certainly all there to support you. I agree, Danina. I'm glad she found us too. There's no accidents. None whatsoever. Okay, all you lurkers, we're gonna be saying goodbye soon, so come on over and say hi. Oh, good night, Tina. I hope you have a wonderful evening and I hope you sleep well. It is much more fun when you get inspired. I agree with you, Ash. It is definitely more, and it's definitely really fun when you share what you're doing. And nobody's going to be critical of you. Nobody's going to shoot your ideas down or say, that's just, nobody there is. Everyone there will be encouraging to you. And that is like the best part. That is the very best part, is people will be encouraging to you and say, try this, or this is where like you shared where you got your mica powders. Like, you'll be like, oh, Susan can't leave until she gets her aloha. All right, girls. So close your eyes. I'm going to send you a little Hawaiian blessing all the way from the island of Maui. So breathe in and exhale. And one more time. Breathe in and exhale. And from my heart to your heart, I'm sending you so much aloha. I agree. Thanks, Fiona. That it is a good group for encouraging each other. Marcy, huge hugs. Love you, love you, love you all the way in South Africa. I love you, girls. You have no idea. Big love, Valerie. So Friday, same time. Friday, we're going to be working on our Christmas things. And I can't remember what I told you guys we were going to work on, but I'll try to remember. If somebody remembers, post it in our Facebook group. Post what I said we were going to work on Friday, because I have so many projects going. I know we've been working on our serendipity paper. We worked on our ornaments. And what did I say we were going to work on Friday? Does anybody remember? Fiona, we're sending you extra healing thoughts. Extra healing hugs. And big hugs. Thanks for being here, Sherry. Oh, Fiona, feel better. Love you, ladies. Love, love, love you. Head over to our Facebook group, Crafting Mamas. Head on over.